What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. I want to give a big shout out to subscriber/viewer Blake Keithley, who recommended to check out Bobby Jones. In a Pistol Pete video, he was like, yo, Pete was the best I ever seen. He's the origin of Showtime. He could score on almost anybody. And by the way, go ahead and check out Connie Hawkins and Bobby Jones. So here we are right now with the American basketball player known as Bobby Jones. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Bobby Jones. I heard his name a couple times through barbershop talk, whatnot. I know he was an exceptional defensive player, and they were calling him the Dennis Rodman before Dennis Rodman, or the white Dennis Rodman. And he had a badass nickname, too. I think his nickname was the Secretary of Defense, which is badass. Let's take a look at some of his accolades. All right, he was 6'9", 210 pounds, went to North Carolina, was drafted in 1974, first round pick, 5th pick overall, and was selected by the Houston Rockets. Played from 1974 to 1986 at the power forward position. Also played with the Denver Nuggets from 74 to 78 and the Philadelphia 76ers from 78 to 86. That's right. I think he did play with Julius Erving and Daryl Dawkins at one point, if I'm not mistaken, because I don't know a whole lot about this player. Now, career highlights and awards. NBA champion in 1983. 4-time NBA All-Star, 8-time NBA All-Defensive First Team, NBA All-Defensive Second Team, NBA Sixth Man of the Year, ABA All-Star, so he was around for ABA and the NBA, he was around for the merger, All-ABA Second Team, 2-time All-ABA Defensive First Team, ABA All-Rookie First Team, and eventually had his number retired by the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, I don't have too much more to say about that. I don't have a whole lot of context and a whole lot of background information for him, but luckily I found a video that we're going to react to where they will give us some information, some context, some story, some highlights regarding the guy, Bobby Jones. Let's check it out.
Defense is an art form. Throughout the years, we've seen some truly great defenders, but it's an aspect of the game that has also attracted some dirty and wild players. But what if I told you that one of the greatest lockdown defenders in league history also happened to possibly be the nicest guy to ever suit up for the NBA? Today, we're going to look at the Hall of Fame career of Bobby Jones. Robert Clyde Jones was born on December 18th, 1951 in North Carolina. He actually was not in love with basketball, but his dad was a former pro player, so Bobby had to play. As early as junior high, Jones realized that he was uncoordinated on offense and got nervous when shooting, so Jones decided to focus much of his attention into perfecting his defense, which he thought would earn him admiration from coaches. By high school, he had grown to be 6'6". He began to develop an amazing leaping ability, winning the state high jump title twice, and coming in second place his junior year, behind future NBA MVP Bob McAdoo. Jones played 4 years of basketball at the University of North Carolina, but during his time there, doctors discovered that he had an irregular heartbeat that required him to take medication before every game. This wasn't Bobby's only health problem though, as he also had asthma and sometimes experienced epileptic seizures, but none of this fazed Bobby Jones. He made second team All-ACC in 1973 and first team All-ACC in 1974. He was selected by the Houston Rockets with the 5th pick in the 1974 draft, but Jones opted instead to join the Denver Nuggets in the ABA. Jones entered the pros as a 6'9", 210-pound power forward. He made first team All-Defense as a rookie, and the Nuggets had a 65-19 record, but the team would lose in the West Finals. The next year, Denver acquired Hall of Famers David Thompson and Dan Issel. Jones made his second straight all-defensive first team, and also made the ABA All-Star game that year. The Nuggets made the ABA Finals, but lost to the New York Nets in 6 games. The next year, the ABA merged with the NBA, and that year, Jones averaged 2.3 steals and 2 blocks, making him the first NBA player to officially average 2 steals and 2 blocks for a season. And since then, only 3 other players have accomplished that. Bobby's nickname was the Secretary Secretary of Defense, which is one of my all-time favorite NBA nicknames. Jones was incredibly athletic and very fast, able to constantly run full-court sprints for entire games. The most famous and remembered part of Jones's game was his graceful ability to chase down opponents and deliver flying blocks, seemingly out of nowhere. This also applied on the offensive end, as Jones put many all-time greats in humiliating posters before they...
I think he just dunked on Larry Bird. Now, time out. Just pause the video, obviously. As I watch more historic NBA videos and highlights, I find that more people, more and more players were doing the chase down block long before LeBron James. A lot of other guys before him, even way back when, right here with Bobby Jones out here doing chase down blocks. It's crazy, man, how quickly we forget, and how as time goes by, these things become faded. The farther you get away from players, the farther the memory gets sketchy and all that. But luckily we have this media that lasts forever. And he just dunked on Larry Bird. I'm pretty sure that was Bird. Called the facial Larry Legend. I'm going to rewind it a little bit. I want to see that chase down again.
Sports sprints for entire games. The most famous and remembered part of Jones's game was his graceful ability to chase down opponents and deliver flying blocks, seemingly out of nowhere. This also applied on the offensive end, as Jones put many all-time greats in humiliating posters.
Bird.
Before they could even fully turn around, they were getting dunked on, and Bobby's short shorts were right in their face. Jones was able to stretch his long arms and block almost any player that stepped in his vicinity. He was right-handed, but he was great at using his offhand. His ability to force turnovers was so monumental, it often changed the whole outcome of games. He was great at defensive rotation, off-ball movement, and he knew how to take a charge. He was also a solid rebounder, getting as many as 9.5 per game in 1976. From 1977 to 1985, Jones made 9 all-defense teams, and 8 of those were first-team selections. After the Nuggets fell short in the 1978 West Finals, Bobby Jones was traded in the offseason to the Philadelphia 76ers. The Sixers had just been to the finals, and had a strong front court with Julius Erving, Daryl Dawkins, and Caldwell Jones. Bobby had started most of his games on the Nuggets, but Sixers coach Billy Cunningham wanted to utilize him as the team's sixth man. Now, we've seen many players devastated or throw fits when they get demoted from a starter to a bench player, but Bobby agreed to his coach's decision very openly and quickly. This is what makes Bobby Jones really unique. He had hustle similar to guys like Dennis Rodman and Dave Cowens, but Jones was a quiet, humble, and unassuming star. He didn't care about getting recognition or praise. The only thing that mattered to him was winning. Yet, he never dragged any of his teammates down or got really upset after a loss. Jones was a man who did not like to drink, smoke, or use bad language. He was a positive person who credited much of his success to God. He was respected and admired by everyone in the league. In 1977, a computer-generated ranking was held, and Jones was named the NBA's most consistent and productive player. Jones requested there be no alcohol at the award ceremony, and when he stood on the podium, he said, "I'm definitely against whiskey, and I just felt God gave me this money not to keep, but to use." Jones would give the $10,000 prize he earned to religious charities. After he retired, Jones would do more religious work. He founded a North Carolina religious nonprofit that specializes in helping underprivileged kids through sports. One of the things most intense defenders do is argue with referees, but Jones never screamed or cried when a call did not go his way. There's a famous story about a time he did talk to a ref. His teammate was called for a foul, but Jones told the ref that he had committed the foul, not his teammate. The ref changed the call, giving Jones his 5th foul of the night. Jones never threw an elbow or a punch. He had a very classy style of play. Jones once said, "If I have to play defense by holding on, that's that's when I quit. If I have to use an elbow to get position, then I'm going to have to settle for another position. And if I foul or if the official makes a mistake, there's no use screaming about it. It won't change things or make me happier. Here are some of the things people have said about Jones. Charles Barkley, who only played 2 seasons with Jones, said, "If everyone in the world was like Bobby Jones, the world wouldn't have any problems." His first pro coach, Larry Brown, said, "When you watch Bobby play, he's probably the ultimate teammate, the most selfless and unselfish player you can ever be around in your life." Two-time DPO winner Sidney Moncrief said, "Jones didn't complain very much. He just went out there and did his job. He was a great teammate. It would be hard to find anybody that played with Bobby Jones that would say anything negative about him as a person and also as a teammate." On the Sixers, Jones was able to observe the opposing players from the bench. He studied the quirks of each player, and then he would come into a game and exploit that. Now, with all this talk about defense, don't think Bobby was a bad offensive player, because he wasn't. On the Nuggets, he averaged just short of 15 points and 10 points on the Sixers, but he was incredibly efficient. In his 2 seasons with the ABA, Jones led the league in field goal percentage. Those 2 seasons also earned him the highest career field goal percentage for an ABA player. In 1978, he led the NBA in field goal percentage with 57.8%. As of this video, he has the 10th highest career field goal percentage for a retired NBA player. Jones helped the Sixers reach the 1980 and 82 finals, but they lost in both series. In the 82 offseason, the Sixers acquired Moses Malone, which was huge. The 83 Sixers are considered one of the greatest teams in NBA history. Maurice Cheeks, Andrew Toney, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, and Bobby Jones made for one of the best defenses in NBA history. Malone won the MVP that year, and Bobby Jones was named 6th Man of the Year, becoming the first player to ever win the award. The Sixers would sweep the Lakers in the finals, and Jones was incredibly valuable in that series. But the Sixers never matched that same level of success in the following years, as they would only make one Eastern Conference Finals in 1985, where they lost to the Celtics in 5 games. Jones retired in 1986, and would finally be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2019.
Wow. Yo, he retired. He retired in 86, and they just now got him enshrined in the Hall of Fame in 2019. That's way too long. They should have got his ass up in there sooner, considering what I just seen. Yo, he was doing something, and then, like I said, nice. He was like the NBA Tim Tebow, just a nice guy, living his life for God, gave everything unto God, extremely charitable, extremely nice. Won't even, like I said, if I got to elbow you for position, I just got to find another position. That's a nice guy, and he will emphatically send your shit into the bleachers. Don't be caught slipping. Don't be caught slipping, or as Bobby Jones will catch you. The wonderful Christian man will catch you. He said, "I don't do whiskey. So whiskey is my favorite. It's my favorite liqueur of choice." I just see him jumping up for that chase down, but got the angel wings and the halo with it. It's like, I want to make sure I don't hit his head as I hit the basketball, or so I have to repent. Give me that ball, boy. Caught Bird on a facial. Really good at causing turnovers. Extremely good help defender. Drawing charges. Moving. Adjusting into rotations. An all-around defensive savvy maestro, if you will. Bobby Jones. I would like to read up more on his history and some iconic moments. Maybe do some more research, learn more about this guy. Great player, no question about it. A defensive cornerstone for any NBA team. 6th Man of the Year, champion. Efficient, plays his role well, gets the job done. Bobby Jones. And got to play with some great players. I didn't even think about Maurice Cheeks. Damn. Moses Malone. Jay Dawks. Ooh. One of the best defensive teams ever assembled. And Bobby Jones coming off the bench, wreaking havoc. That's what's up, man. Once again, appreciate Blake Keithley for the recommendation. I really like this video. I like what I saw from this player. It's just a shame they took so long to get him into the NBA Hall of Fame, man. He should have been in there a long time ago. And that's the problem. You can't be waiting so long to get these players enshrined because you never know. Tomorrow's never promised. They're deserving of it. Get them in there as soon as you can. That's way too long for him. Way too long. Way too long. I would love to hear you guys' opinion. Did anybody here remember this player? Did you ever watch him play? Did you get a chance to see him play live? What did you think? What was your opinion? What did you think of him? Do you have any stories regarding this player? I would love to hear your opinion. Please let me know in the comment section. I legitimately read all these comments, and I am genuinely curious and want to absorb as much knowledge that I can from all of you who have more context than I do, that might have been able to watch these players or know more information about these players. Again, appreciate the recommendation, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.